So the first thing basically when it comes to creating balance, creating a work-life balance, how you can still build your career without losing your family. The first portion is let me tell you guys, and it's going to be a little bit controversial, is that there is no balance, right? I'm a big believer that you can't have everything when you want. I think you can have everything in life. It's just that you can't have everything that you want all the time, all together at the same time, right? You have to basically be able to decide what is it that's going to be important for you at that moment. Be aware that the actions or the mindset that you have today can directly affect what your future is going to look like, right? So, just a story about myself when it came to creating balance with my career and then my family, I didn't always have it, right? Essentially, I knew that one day I wanted to be a family man. I wanted to be a father. So what I did, and this is a true story, I basically went my first, after my mid 20s, right? Like up until my early 30s. I would probably say from the year 25 to about 32, 33 when I had my first child. All I did was save my money. I worked extremely hard on my business. I worked extremely hard on myself. I had a lot of hours where I was just dedicating to growing my business and growing myself. The way that I looked at it was that the more I could basically accumulate when it came to money and resources, and the less I needed for myself, would be able to create or give me more leverage that when, the creator decided to make me a parent, I would be able to spend as much time as I could with my children and with my family. And what I did is that as my income was growing, right, and all of us, we're in different positions, we're at different times in our life. If you're in your early 20s, you might be still trying to figure out what you're going to do. You might be figuring out who you are. If you're older than me, maybe you have some establishment, but maybe you're still trying to figure it out, right? I think that development, becoming the best version of yourself, and obviously finding purpose is a lifelong journey, right? The things that you may like today, it might not be something that you like tomorrow. So you're always going to be working on being able to find purpose and, find a reason and find what is suited for you, right? Like what was your divine creation for? So for me, I took real advantage of, what the solar industry had to offer, especially in my late 20s, early 30s. I went all in, I was working 10, 12 hours a day, working on my business. And basically, as my income started to grow, right, I still kept my lifestyle as simple as possible. I always, tell everyone in my family that I was super lucky to be able to hoard money like it was going out of business, right? So what I did was I took the opportunity as to how I can save as much money as I possibly could, how I could possibly reinvest back into myself, how I could be able to create a blanket that when the creator decided to give me a family, I was going to be able to utilize that, so that way I can go all in on the things that was most important to me.